Amy, we are actually on our way to rescue someone as we speak. We just turned into the Terravande community right off of Island Park. And as you can see, this community is completely flooded. Fortunately, we're being told by residents here that the water has not gone into the first floor units. But the person that we're going to rescue is actually this man's daughter. And can you tell me, how quickly did this area flood here?
Well, it's been storming like this. It's been flooded since easily yesterday afternoon, but about 3 o'clock, that's when all of the water overfilled the streets, and we've been stuck like this for easily 24 hours now.
Wow. It's really unbelievable what we're seeing here, and it's just on this road here that we're seeing most of the flooding. The road is right next to us, Island Park Road, but this community is just a look at what many communities on this road is dealing with. Close to 3 feet of flooding water here, and you can see some of the cars just trying to tread some of that flood water. And then we're going to stay out here and talk to more people. Again, rescues are still underway. Last I spoke with San Carlos Fire District, they tell me they've rescued over 130 people. So still a very active situation here. Amy and Patrick, the roads are beginning to flood a bit in this neighborhood, but as you can see, cars are still able to get through. But what people are really talking about here is the wind gust that came through this area. I just want to give our photographer time to take a step back so that you guys can get a view of this tree. This thing is absolutely massive, and it gives you an idea of just how strong the winds were that came through this area. I mean, just take a look at the base of this tree here, the diameter. It's huge, these roots. It gives you an idea of how strong those wind gusts were. Now, this home was just on our way to another home in this area that saw some wind damage. We want to show you that video right now. You'll see that a lanai screen at that home was completely destroyed, parts of it falling into the pool there. Now, the homeowner at that home didn't want to go on camera with us, but they tell us that that damage was indeed caused by high winds that went through the area. Also, some uprooted trees in front of that home. We spoke to someone who lives next door. He says he went on a lunch, came back, and saw the damage.
At lunch, I mean, the wind had picked up to a pretty good speed. I'm not certain if it was just strictly wind damage or possibly a tornado.
Now, there haven't been any confirmed tornadoes touching down in this area, but I did get a chance to check in with our chief meteorologist, Derek Beasley. He tells me there were reports of wind gusts of up to 45 to 55 miles per hour in Lee County. And as you can see behind me, those winds definitely came through here. Reporting live in Fort Myers, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner. You know, Patrick, we got here about 10 minutes ago, and if people are expecting to come to the North Fort Myers Academy of Arts, you should probably head to another shelter. Pan, if we give my photographer some time to pan over, you see these people are being turned away. The school here reached capacity, as I said, when we got here about 10 minutes ago. Currently, there's about 2,500 people inside. You can see this gentleman here, National Guardsman. He's going car to car, informing people that this shelter is no longer available. They have reached capacity. In fact, the principal told me that he had already reached capacity, but was still allowing more people to come in. But at this point, there are just too many people inside. And in fact, I have 2 people here that were just turned away, Bob and Ethel. Tell me, what's the plan now, guys?
Okay. Well, our next plan, I guess, to go to the list you're going to give us for the, what's that, for a high school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and what he's referring to is I have a list in my hand of the shelters that are still open.
Therefore, I understand they might have openings still down at Germain Arena. We'll try there.
What did you guys hear that made you want to evacuate at this point?
Somebody told us earlier or whatever, and then we started looking for it, and we couldn't find the place. We couldn't find the right road. So
they just said safe enough if you don't find shelter?
Well, she's probably going to stay. I'm going home, make sure our home is kept safe. I've got shutters on there, but I want to make sure home is secure. I'm going to stay there. All
right, guys, be safe and stay put. I'm going to give you this list, so just give us a second. But you guys, this is a very fluid situation. You can see just how upset and distraught they are. They've been looking for a shelter. They tell me they came here twice, went to other places, and now they're being turned away because this shelter here has reached capacity. Now, The list he was referring to is in my hands. I'm going to read off the shelters that we are told still are able to accept people. Now, Germain Arena is still able to accept people in Estero. Mirror Lakes Elementary School, that's where they plan to head next. That's in Lehigh Acres. Now, the next shelter is Veterans Park Recreation Center. That's also in Lehigh Acres. Now, we're going to stay out here and try to speak to a few more people, help some people out, and share this information with them. And you can see people still coming in and they're getting turned away. So it's a fluid situation. Possibly.
My boat floats. My boat floats. I'm going to be on top of it. If you need a ride, I'll ride over to your house and give you a lift to work.
I can't believe you're smiling right now and making light of it.
That's a boat. I mean, we're going to float. No matter how deep the water gets,
Is there any point, at any point, do you think you might change your mind and leave?
Yeah, if the weather got so bad that tornadoes and stuff, and you know, but I just don't see that. We're in too well a protected area right here.
And now you heard from him. He does not plan to leave this area at all. He tells me there's nothing that could possibly make him leave his boat. We tried to plead with him, explaining the dangers with storm surge. He didn't seem to be too concerned with that. And that's what county officials tell us is the deadly factor here. In addition to the violent winds that we'll see, it's the storm surge. In some areas, it could reach up to 10 feet. And that's why officials are urging people, if you're not in a safe place, find a place that you can stay as soon as you can, because as you can see, conditions here are starting to pick up a little bit. It started to rain just a few minutes ago. I didn't even have time to put my jacket on, so things are definitely starting to progress. We're starting to see some of the impacts from Hurricane Irma. Reporting live in Fort Myers, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner.